welcome back. Getting you updates on Navjot Singh Sidhu being sent to rigorous imprisonment. Times Now has accessed the court order copy. Times Now, the first to break the court's verdict, and now first with Sidhu's response, and also the first to access the court order copy. We'll get you more details of what the court order says, but very clearly sending Navjot Singh Sidhu to 1 year rigorous imprisonment. And the BJP is now asking questions on whether Navjot Singh Sidhu will be expelled. He has been sent to 1 year imprisonment, and he has also hinted that he will be serving jail time. No confirmation on that yet, but his first response was that he will submit to the majesty of law. On Times Now, we've also got you the Victims' Council as well, first to speak to Times Now. And we've also accessed the order copy. Navjot Singh Sidhu being sent to 1 year rigorous imprisonment. Now, this is an update that's likely to bring in political repercussions as well. Questions being asked on the Congress party on whether any action would be initiated. Remember, Navjot Singh Sidhu has already been out of favor of the Congress party. In fact, Poonam, my colleague, joins us from the newsroom with more details on the order copy. Yes, Poonam.
Right, Pratibha, we're just perusing through this order copy that we've accessed here on Times Now, but I'm going to read one bit as far as the enhancement of the sentence against Navjot Singh Sidhu is concerned. Remember, it was the Punjab and Haryana High Court that had given him 3 years in jail, and the charges that he was held guilty of was a culpable homicide not amounting to murder, but that has been downgraded now in the Supreme Court. It's now only for causing voluntary hurt, which is why the sentence has now come down to 1 year. In this order, it says we turn to the aspect of review of the enhancement of sentence, which persuaded us to issue the notice that is imposed a fine of 1,000 rupees. No doubt the conviction is under section 323 of the IPC relating to causing hurt, which reads punishment for voluntarily causing hurt. That is the section that has now been imposed on Navjot Singh Sidhu. That is the one he is found guilty of. The punishment has been prescribed as a sentence of a term which may extend to 1 year, or a fine which may extend to 1,000 rupees, or both. In the present case, only the fine has been imposed. The question thus to be analyzed is whether in the given factual scenario, grave error can be said to have been committed on the issue of the sentence by not punishing with imprisonment of any term whatsoever. So this is the one that goes on to talk about the 1 year in jail and the 1,000 rupee fine that has now been imposed on Navjot Singh Sidhu as per the section 323 of the IPC, which is only about causing voluntary hurt.
Okay, all right. Poonam, thank you for joining us with that update, and some reactions also that have been coming in. Let's listen in.
ये तो हो गई सिद्धू साहब की बात, लेकिन आपको लगता है कि जिस तरह से अब 1 साल की सजा उनको दी गई है, कांग्रेस पार्टी का अपना, क्योंकि वो नेता है कांग्रेस पार्टी के, पहले पूर्व अध्यक्ष रहे थे, तो कांग्रेस पार्टी भी अब इसको लेकर कोई फैसला देगी? क्या उन्हें पार्टी में रखेगी, पार्टी से बाहर निकालेगी, क्या इस तरह?
नहीं, अभी देखिए वो अपील करते हैं, आगे क्या फैसला आता है। ये फैसले बाद के हैं और कांग्रेस हाईकमांड के इसके ऊपर विचार करेगी जो भी फैसला हो।
All right, so we're getting exclusive details of what went on. The Supreme Court awarding the cricketer turned politician 1 year rigorous imprisonment in the 1988 road rage case. The Supreme Court had earlier allowed the review of the May 2018 order, and in that case, as you remember, one person had died in the road rage incident. So now Sidhu is all set to be taken into custody by the Punjab police as per the order of the Supreme Court. He was earlier let off with a fine of just 1,000 rupees. This case relates to the death of a man in December 1988 after Sidhu and a friend had assaulted him in a road rage incident. Now, the Supreme Court had set aside the Punjab and Haryana High Court order that had convicted Sidhu of culpable homicide, as we just got you the details of the court order copy as well.
We are on behalf of the victim's family. Victim's family has called us and they are very satisfied, and they feel after almost 35 odd years justice has finally been served, and their prayer to the Supreme Court has been accepted, where he would have to go to jail to serve rigorous imprisonment of 1 year. You may recall that initially he was, in 2018, only a fine of 1,000 rupees was imposed on him, which obviously pained the family to a large extent. So today they are satisfied and they are just very thankful to God and graciously accept the verdict of Supreme Court.
In fact, Times Now also spoke to the family members of the victims who hailed the verdict.
ਸਿਰਫ ਇੰਨਾ ਦੱਸ ਦਿਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ
ਉਹ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਸੀ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਸੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਰਿਆ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੀ ਐਨੀ ਮੂਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾਣੀ
ਮੈਮ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੰਨਾ ਦੱਸ ਦਿਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ
ਉਹ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਸੀ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਸੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਰਿਆ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੀ ਐਨੀ ਮੂਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾਣੀ
ਮੈਮ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੰਨਾ ਦੱਸ ਦਿਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ
ਉਹ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਸੀ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਸੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਰਿਆ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ
Poonam and legal editor Harish are also with us. But Poonam, as you were getting us details of that, law finally catching up with Navjot Singh Sidhu. It's been over 34 years. He was let off with just 1,000 rupees initially. Now, 1 year in jail.
Right, some would say even 1 year in jail is not enough, and perhaps because he is a VVIP, he has gotten away easily. But the fact is that today the Supreme Court imposed the addition of the 1 year in jail in addition to the 1,000 rupee fine. And the observation the Supreme Court made while imposing that is also extremely important. It goes on to say, and I quote, a disproportionately light punishment humiliates and frustrates a victim of crime when the offender goes unpunished or is let off with a relatively minor punishment, as the system pays no attention to the injured's feelings. Indifference to the rights of the victim of crime is fast eroding the faith of the society in general and the victim of crime in particular in the criminal justice system. We noticed that the judgments to repeal the contention of the senior counsel for the respondent, the victim, should have no matter in the say of enhancement of the sentence, which is why the Supreme Court then goes on to say that a penance causing distress should not be prescribed, going on to say that there should be faith in the judicial system of the country, which is why it is humiliating for the victims who are trying to get succor from the Supreme Court or from the judiciary of this country, that appropriate punishment should be given, and which is why the Supreme Court decided that along with the 1,000 rupee fine, Navjot Singh Sidhu will also have to spend 1 year in jail.
All right, Harish is also with us, and Harish, we also have some details of what went on. Navjot Singh Sidhu also invoked the fact that he is a cricketer, fighting tooth and nail to reduce the sentencing.
Yes, that's right, Pradeepa. His lawyer had pleaded for leniency and said that at this stage, after 3 decades, please don't enhance the punishment, which was earlier declared as ₹1,000. Please don't give me a jail term. The court should consider my impeccable role, social status, and my contribution to the sports and politics in the country. And Navjot Singh Sidhu also said that the philanthropic work he had undertaken for the society and the work he had done for the downtrodden should all be considered. But the Supreme Court said that in the judgment said that this cannot be. There cannot be. This is a case where a person has died, and one cannot be let out with just a fine of ₹1,000. Remember, while letting him off with just ₹1,000, Supreme Court had in 2018 remarked that there are cases where people have been let off with fines when a large number of years have passed from the incident. Number 2, he did not have a criminal antecedent. Number 3, that there was no lethal weapon used, and there was no enmity between the accused and the victim. So these were the factors which the Supreme Court had considered while letting him off with ₹1,000 fine. But today the Supreme Court has remarked that ₹1,000 fine was too less a fine, and this accused deserved at least some jail term. But the only relief for Sidhu is that the victim's family had said that he deserved a harsher punishment, and the 1 year jail term he was given under voluntarily causing hurt clause B, enhanced to murder or culpable homicide not amounting to murder. That however was not allowed. But anyways, Times Now spoke to the lawyers for the victim's family, but they are happy with this one year jail term, and they say that justice has been done.
Okay, Harish, now that the Supreme Court has, sentenced him to 1 year rigorous imprisonment, will he have any legal recourse at all, or will he have to serve the entire 1 year in jail?
Yes, of course he has a legal recourse, but his lawyers, the lawyers for the victims, I asked the same question to the lawyer for the victim, Gurnam Singh's family. They say that he has a legal remedy, that is a curative petition. But today the time is up. Today he will have to go to jail. And in curative petition, it rarely does a person get a relief. And today, even in today's judgment, the Supreme Court bench has remarked that there is error apparent on the face of the record, which means that the earlier petition, the petition in which the appeal in which Supreme Court had granted him relief, that judgment had an error apparent on the face of the record. So that is why this 1 year punishment has been given. But Sidhu can definitely file a curative petition, but today he will have to go sitting in jail. He can consult a lawyer and file a curative petition. We'll have to wait and watch whether the Supreme Court admits that curative petition and gives Sidhu the relief. But as of now, today Sidhu is all set to go to jail, and he has to surrender in the trial court, from where the police will take him to jail.
Okay, that's a big update. So, Harish, as you're telling us that, because the curative petition cannot be filed today, as per the Supreme Court orders, the Punjab police are to arrest Navjot Singh Sidhu. So, that could happen any moment now.
Yes, that's right, Pratibha. Either he will have to surrender, and if he doesn't surrender, the Punjab police can go to wherever he is and arrest him and ask him to surrender. If he does not surrender, he will be arrested and taken to jail, because the judgment by which the Supreme Court has sentenced him to 1 year rigorous imprisonment comes into effect immediately. And now even the judgment is out, as we have the judgment copy has been accessed. So from now, the time ticks for Navjot Singh Sidhu. He has been sentenced to jail, and he has to undergo. And there is, of course, a legal remedy in the form of a curative petition. But that he can file while he is in jail. During the course of his imprisonment, he can definitely file a curative petition. But today, Navjot Sidhu is all set to go to jail. He has to surrender, and if he doesn't surrender, Punjab police can arrest him and take him to jail.
Okay, all right. This